So I mean, are you looking now to go further or build, or do you want to be more in tune, or is it something that is just like it just comes when it comes?
I think it's if we're having the discussion, I know like I've always felt a sort of aversion to the culture growing up. I've always not only felt outside of the common, like American standard culture, but I've also felt outside of the culture of the nation because I didn't grow up in an active community of nation builders. I grew up outside of it. So I was like a double outsider. You know what I mean? But in that you can see some of the inconsistencies. Like I would always have the question like, okay, how can I be God? That was a question that I had all the time as a kid. How can I be God? And how can every other male be God? And I never was able to get a thorough, clear answer on that.
Even to this day?
I guess, yeah, even to this day. Through studying the lessons, I can see, like earlier we were talking about, like, people have this comic book definition of what is God. And so that can confuse the issue too. And so I've sort of had to, basically what I had to do was take the information and take what I could get of it. This is what I was taught, and leave what I couldn't use. Leave what I couldn't use. And what I can use is, don't act like a savage, don't go to jail, don't worship a mystery god. You know what I mean? And live righteous. But as far as like the kind of the more technical details and deeper into it, I mean, that stuff doesn't pay my rent. That stuff doesn't keep my electricity on. It doesn't put food in my mouth. And it's not to discount it, but at the point of mental crisis where I was at, where I needed answers, I got answers enough to let me live well today. So I think if I could feel more connected to the culture, if I could feel more connected to brothers who are practicing it, then yeah, I'd be all about it. I'd love to get involved, but I've always felt a little bit of a pushback.
That's kind of interesting, because there is because there's different people who got it different ways. You get what I'm saying? Some people may have gotten it a certain way, and then may look at you and look at how you got it, and they feel a way. They feel like they need to pick at you because you got it a certain way.
Right.
They need to drill it into your head the way that they got it. But that's not always necessarily the way. I mean, there's usefulness in it, but at the same time, there's that, like you said, I'm not.
It doesn't foster community building.
Right.
That sort of adversarial approach. It doesn't foster coming together for a like-minded cause, for unity.
Right.
It makes me be like, yo, I'm gonna look the other way when I see that brother. I'm gonna go that way. Like,
because you grew up a certain way, and you didn't embrace that kind of questioning,
right?
Or that kind of let's say that kind of adversity. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's coming at you and trying to test your square.
Right. That wasn't even part of my culture growing up.
Right.
I wasn't around any of that. I was in a community of all white people, all 85%ers, all churchgoers, like all suburban. Like there was one household practicing knowledge of self, and that was our household. So we didn't need to battle each other. We knew what was up. We knew what time it was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So, coming from that perspective, what would you say would help you be more embracive of it, to be more okay, I want to see this. I want to be a part of this, and I want to see the upliftment of this. I want to add on to this.
Actually, it's interesting. It's like brothers like you and the brother you were building with earlier, even like my brother Wise, like I feel like you guys bring a fresh perspective to the knowledge of self. Meaning that, yes, we're the supreme being, but it's in today's world. And so we're not going out here making enemies with the world. We're going out here building communities, raising people up. And I really get a sense for that when I just watch you two interact, just to watch you interact. But then you can watch some other brothers interact and it looks like they're at war and you're going like, well, I thought.
Right.
So that's what it is. It's seeing unity amongst other older members, maybe not like elder members, but older members, seeing that unity and seeing that sort of fresh minded perspective makes it attractive and makes me kind of want to be like, oh, I gotta be around those brothers, which as an effect goes, well, if you want to be around those brothers, then you need to be a little more polished up, which then the motivation is like, okay, yeah, I can do that because I'm not defending my manhood or whatever it is, like, you know what I mean? It's just like I'm just associating with like-minded individuals.
If Mega did this.